I at least had to
Yes, yes. Oh, fun. Oh, it is the same time. Yeah, it's the same Oh, the golf. It's hard. That's the first time since I It'll be, it's just going to be property owners, so whoever goes property. It's this right. Oh, yeah. I was so nice. I'm good. I just sat back now. They are my son-in-law. My husband is
because I need some.
I need some. We need people to three. You can have a get a hold of it. Oh, that's what's on your brain up in your head. I don't know if my hair will hold it. My hair is the back, that's right. That it wasn't in front of you. Memories like the corners of my mind. Is that you know the real camp? Sir,
Good to see you again.
it's been a while.
Yeah, been a little while.
Yeah, I decided to take about 9 weeks off. Well, you know, I don't charge by the hour.
Yeah.
No, your cases control you.
Yeah, they do. Right now, it's much.
Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year. Doing well.
Uh, yeah. My,
Meeting has been called to order. We have invocation by Minister Eddie Sherman. Lord, we thank you for this place and time that we gather to do the business of the city of Alachua. We thank you for all those who are present and those on the way. We thank you, Lord, and allow everything that needs to be discussed be carried out with grace and temperance and speech. And Lord, we ask you to just continue to bless this city, this county, this state, that we might do your will and what is pleasing in thy sight. In your precious name we pray. Amen. Amen. Now we do the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start, I would like, if you have your cell phones, will you please silent it or you can turn it off? And if you have to make a call, can you please leave the chamber meeting room? And we're hoping that we have a great, successful meeting tonight. Now we will
have approval reading of the proposal ordinance resolution.
Mayor, I think we need to approve for the agenda.
Yeah, for the agenda. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved. Second, now we have citizen comments.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission staff. My name is Tamara Robbins. I see on the agenda this evening there's the item A, the fiscal analysis report. Previously, when the fiscal analysis reports have been on the agenda, I have asked at this point in the meeting for you to allow citizen comments, questions, inquiries about how the presentation is of how the public's money is being spent. And that's just not happened because apparently you don't care what we think about how you're spending the money. So I'm asking again tonight that you allow for citizen input during item A. And if you need a motion to trigger that to happen, perhaps one of you could put a motion on the floor to allow the citizens to comment after the presentation is given. And then I would just dream that it would be a second and then there would be a vote, and that either you're going to support the citizens' input or you're not. So one of you please put a motion on the floor and let us all see where you stand on citizen input during presentations that involve the spending of our money and kind of anything else because it's all public business. Thank you.
Hello, Soria Lindbergh. Happy New Year officially. When it comes to the approval of the agenda, I was wondering if whether it's going to be an agenda item or if someone can speak to it. I noticed poking around the website there was a request for a bid for live streaming from November to December, and I was just wondering more details about that or what the public can learn about. I know there were no outcomes from that, so I don't know how these bids go because I'm not a municipality that does bids. So I was just curious about the process and if you had any feedback from any vendors or anyone that was curious. So that is my comment for agenda items.
Thank you. Will there be another? If not, we'll move on to the vote. And we'll start with Commissioner Fletcher.
Aye.
Commissioner Dana.
Aye.
Commissioner Reese.
Aye.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
And Mayor Wells, aye. We'll move on to 1A.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, and Mr. City Attorney. My name is Tyler Williams, Accounting Manager for the City of Alachua, and tonight I'm here to present the Fiscal Analysis Report through November 30th of the current fiscal year. With that said, I'll define some of the key terms we'll be using throughout this presentation. Fiscal year is the period beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026. Amended budget is the budget including all changes since the beginning of the fiscal year. Period benchmark, the percentage of fiscal year that has transpired, just through the end of November, 16.67%. Encumbrances are funds committed for future expenses.
Excuse me, Tyler. Can you dim the lights, please? Thank you.
The breakdown of budget by fund type is displayed here. The general fund and enterprise funds account for about 80% of the total budget. The amended fiscal year 26 budget is the same as the original fiscal year 26 budget through November. which is $67,078,940. And moving on to the individual fund types, the general fund primary revenue source are taxes, which accounts for about 48% of all general fund revenues. The general fund provides the resources necessary to provide for the city's main governmental functions. The amended budget is $21,145,886, currently the same as the adopted budget. Funding sources are at 25%, expenses are at 12%, and encumbrances are at 16%. Moving on to the special revenue funds, the primary current revenue sources are intergovernmental revenue related to the CRA and the taxes associated with the infrastructure surtax and wall spaces public places funds. These three funds account for 94% of the special revenue budget. The amended budget is $6,456,544. Funding sources are at 61%, expenses are at 4%, and encumbrances are at 5%. Next is the debt service fund with a primary revenue source that is comprised of interfund transfers to provide all general obligation current debt payments. The amended budget is $793,864. Sources of funding are at negative 2%. Currently, the only general fund debt service payment is the Series 16, and the negative use of fund balance arises from the fact that an installment payment for the Series 2016 bond is due on October 1st, which is the first day, in this case, of the next fiscal year. Sufficient funds are transferred in the current fiscal year to cover the fiscal year 27 first installment payment. The additional $17,223 is transferred in from the general fund for that October 1st installment payment, is not being used in the current fiscal year 26, and therefore is reflected as that negative 2% of fund balance because it's not being utilized this current fiscal year. The next fund type are the capital projects funds. The primary revenue source in this fund type are from intergovernmental sources. The amended budget is $1,494,326. Funding sources are at 0%, expenses are at 0%, and encumbrances are at 6%. The enterprise funds are supported through charges for services, user fees. This fund type encompasses all of the city's utility services. The amended budget is $32,503,309. Funding sources are at 43%, expenses are at 8%, and encumbrances are at 6%. Lastly is the internal service fund type, with primary revenue source being charges for services. These are in the form of transfers from the enterprise fund, as the primary purpose is to provide support for the enterprise fund activities. The amended budget is $4,685,011. Funding sources are at 22%, expenses are at 17%, and encumbrances are at 2%. The amended budget for the current fiscal year, again, is the same as what was adopted in September, which is $67,078,940. As of the end of November, 36% of funding sources are accounted for, with 13% expended and 6% encumbered. The city's total investment portfolio is just over $1.8 million, with the SBA at approximately $1.3 million, the money market and certificate of deposit totaling approximately $553,000. Our cash holdings are just over $27.1 million. In conclusion, the city's revenues and expenses are in line with our budgetary and fiscal plan. The bulk of the tax revenue is received between December and February, and the fiscal year 25 audit is progressing towards completion. At this time, I'll be happy to entertain any questions you may have.
If we jump to information and technology services, there was an encumbrance for $93,000. I guess, Mr. Mayor, is staff able to state what that expense for that encumbrance was?
Mr. Mayor, I believe you're talking about the specific capital expenditures for information technology services. Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm not able at this time. I'm not sure of what exactly that encompasses. It could be one item. It could be more than one item. If you give us able to follow back up
Okay.
with you, good.
Mr. Mayor, is city manager able to have staff answer what that $93,000 was spent on?
Yes, go ahead.
Just as staff has pointed out, we can provide you the breakdown at a later date.
Okay. The reason why I bring it up, because that 93 looks awfully familiar to the 93 that was a portion of the original contract with BSA in October, which this commission sent back. And so what I'm trying to understand here is, did staff go ahead and enter that contract since that was, well, I guess under the discretion of the city manager, enter that contract since that was under 100,000? Or where's this money going? That's what I'm trying to understand here.
Mr. Mayor, Rob Benetti, Finance Administrative Services Director. You are correct, actually. What happens is there's a requisition in the system. It has not been approved, but it's still capturing that number.
So is it a purchase order?
It's a requisition. It's still being held as a requisition. It's not being approved as a PO.
So I guess my next question for the city manager is, will you have that item come back before this commission before taking action on that item, on that contract?
That item will be presented to this board before action is done on that.
All right.
And if I may expand, that's why it's being held as a requisition.
Okay.
It's not going to progress to the next stage.
All right, because we're talking about like how much money is being allocated here, and usually when you see percentages like that, you're thinking, all right, that money's been spent. Where'd that money go? All right, so as long as when the commission says, hey, bring it back to us, as long as we're doing that, that's all I'm trying to.
No, we are aware of that.
Yeah.
We're still working on that. Obviously, the state registration issue snafu that's been resolved. It was resolved the very next day. But the contract portion is being discussed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, Mr. Mayor, I got one more. So we're coming over here. We're talking about the total budget here. I guess my question is for the city manager, Mr. Mayor. When will we get updates regarding our strategic initiatives and our capital improvement project performances? Because right now, we are in January. We have our finance report on that we're spending the money. My question here is how are those projects performing? Because if I recall, the CIP is $17 million worth of our annual budget. That's about 25%. And I'd like to make sure that the public and ourselves, the commission, is being informed of the progress on these projects and how well we're doing. So my question for the manager is, will we be able to expect one of those within the next month or so?
So the strategic initiative quarterly reports are submitted quarterly to the board. You have received one recently, and then we have another quarterly report that will be produced for the city commission for updates shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any comments from?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a
sorry,
motion here. I move, and make sure I have this written down if we need to put it for the record. Move that in order to best involve the taxpayers in discussing how their taxpayer money is spent, I move to accept this presentation I just moved to accept this presentation.
We have a second.
I made a motion.
Mr. Mayor, the recommended action is to receive the presentation.
That's fine. I made a motion.
Mr. Attorney, could you help us with this?
The motion would need a second. And so that's where we're at. If you desire to have a motion, it's a presentation, so it doesn't need a vote. But if you desire to have a vote, you certainly can do so to accept the presentation.
And just to confirm, Mr. City Attorney, there is a motion on the floor.
There is a motion on the floor, correct?
Thank you.
Is there a second on the motion? There be no second. The motion is denied. Is there any comments from? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get my agenda. Let's move to 1B.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, Mr. City Attorney. My name is David Weisner, Economic Development Manager for the city. I'm pleased this evening to present Alachua County Property Appraiser Aisha Solomon, who is here to provide a brief overview and reminder of the services offered at the Property Appraiser's City of Alachua Satellite Office, which currently is located at the Swick House.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, City Attorney, everyone in their respectable places. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank you for the beautiful renovations that was completed at our satellite office at the Swick House. We truly appreciate the care and attention that went into this space. As you know, the Property Appraiser's Office is located in the back of the Swick House. While it continues to serve as a gathering place for the community for events and meeting in the front, still stands. The improvements made, especially the newly paved walkway, made a meaningful difference. I love how lit up it was. It's absolutely gorgeous. The previous pavers were uneven and slippery when wet. The new walkway not only improved safety, but also added a beautiful lift to the entire back of the Swick House. We're also grateful for the new signage that was installed. It gives our residents clear guidance on where the office is located within the building, which makes it more welcoming and stress-free for our customers. It feels incredible to work alongside city officials who are truly committed to making a difference to this community. That partnership means everything to us. I'm excited to share that this year marks 5 years that we've been serving at the City of Alachua, and we've expanded our service to the City of Alachua. Was one of the first things that I did when I took office in 2021. From this day and from that day on, you welcomed us with open arms. And we are consistently received wonderful feedback from our residents about the services that we provide here. Our satellite office at the Swick House is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Most residents for exemption services, while walk-ins are welcome, we encourage an appointment made due to limited space. With an appointment, residents can access all services available at our main office. The wait time averages around 7 minutes. Depending on their needs, team members from our valuation department, which is how your property is assessed, our tangible personal property, which is your business, field operations, agricultural, GIS, deeds, and title, will all meet them here at the on-site if they need to. In 2025 alone, I have some interesting facts. We proudly served 1,267 residents at this location, mostly by appointment. There were only 4 walk-ins. We were contacted 3,254 by phone. We processed 278 new homestead exemption applications. This is a single exemption that can lead up to $960 in tax savings. What people don't realize that tax saving can increase significantly by applying for additional exemptions, such as the seniors, the veterans, military, widow, disability, tangible personal property, and ag classifications. Because of this, we took a data-driven approach, and just last week, we mailed more than 2,329 letters, courtesy letters, for possibly unclaimed homestead exemptions or related exemption letters to Alachua County residents whose records indicate that they may qualify for homestead exemptions. What this means is our data showed that their physical address, their mailing address, voter registrations, driver's license, all matched. And these are strong indicators to us that this is their primary residence, but they weren't receiving an exemption. So it's our hope that they do not discard this letter. They will reach out to our office and apply for these exemptions. And my goal is simple, is to make sure that everybody gets the exemptions that they qualify for and the tax breaks that they're entitled to. For those who are heirs properties, exemptions may not apply immediately. So those people, residential factors may be at those locations, but they're not entitled to those exemptions because they don't have clear title. So this Thursday at Creekside Community Church, we're hosting a probate and estate planning summit that will help residents learn how to clear title, prevent lengthy and costly legal processes, to help them understand that their property title can transfer automatically just through knowledge. So out of 1,700 heirs properties in Alachua County, 98 reside in city of Alachua. In 2023, Alachua County Property Appraiser's Office began a title alert service. This is a free online monitoring service that will help you prevent title fraud. It will notify you of any changes on your property. We're one out of the two property appraisers in the state of Florida that offers this service. It was developed and it is managed by our staff, no third party, and your information is protected from public records request. Once again, I want to thank you for your leadership and partnership, your investment in this building, your ongoing commitment to this community, and I'm honored to serve and look forward to many more years of working together. Thank you. You have any questions for me?
Well, a statement. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I recall I think the discussions for fixing those pay waivers were back around May, June, around that time. So I'm very excited to see like how we were able to get that addressed. The amount of volume you guys get in that office back there.
I was shocked by those numbers too.
Yeah. I do hope you reach out to the city manager regarding the title alerts. I do know that's a big issue in Florida, and maybe there's some way we can collaborate through our communication channels along with that by promoting those programs. Maybe there's some opportunity there we can work together on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Ms. Solomon, thank you for your efforts and your staff. The work you do is very vital to our community. And so thank you for prioritizing the city of Alachua and providing that remote office here. And as Commissioner Fletcher this state, those numbers are impressive. You are impacting, you are making a difference. The service you're providing, you're bringing it here to our city for our residents to benefit from all the services you provide. So thank you so much for doing the hard work you're doing. And yes, you are making a difference. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for teaming up with me and getting this thing on the road, get it rolling.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's just amazing to hear the numbers. How exciting. And we're so happy that the new walk area has made a difference because I've walked back there and it wasn't easy.
I wear heels and
Yes.
it was not pretty. Yeah.
So does this young lady. But thanks for your presentation. And if you would consider attending one of our senior advisory boards, which I think would be a good place to share information about the fraud alert.
The senior exemptions.
Yes, yes. So I just happen to know the individual who is chairing that board. So I'll make sure that you all get connected.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
And I look
thank
forward
you.
to that.
Great.
I'm just going to echo everything. I mean, I can't believe it's 5 years. I remember the ribbon cutting. I remember us all back there, and I absolutely love the relationship that we've have, and moving forward is obviously very crucial. Can you just tell me again the date of you mentioned a workshop or a date coming up?
We
Can you
have
tell me that one more time?
the Probate and Estate Planning Summit
Yes.
is this Thursday. What is that? January 15th at 6 p.m. at Creekside Community Church. It's on the Thursday. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Aisha, I, without repeating what everybody has said, I think I remember that this is one of the first things that you and I talked about as soon as you got elected was, please come out here. We need you. We need the constitutional officers having offices out here if possible. And you were the first one to jump all over it. And I think you campaigned on it, if I remember correctly. So again, I can't believe it's already been 5 years, and I'm so grateful. I do hear great things about the office out here. I do hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but those numbers make it sound like we may be your busiest office, is what I hear, but I'm not sure.
The main office is the busiest office, but this is a reason to stay here because
Yeah.
so many people are using it and
Yeah.
we're finding it very useful.
And I will tell you the title alert is fantastic. In fact, I know a few people that have already signed up for it, including myself, and it works because I experienced the process of that. And I did call your office and compliment them on that. And I can't believe that out of 67 counties in Florida, there's only 2 that are doing that. It seems like a no-brainer. You see the commercials on TV all the time advertising for paying companies to do what you're offering, what that service is complimentary to the citizens of Alachua County. So kudos to you and your office for doing that. I know it's working. And we're looking forward to many more years of your office being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you and enjoy your new year.
Happy New Year.
And we appreciate all what you do.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, could we get a picture?
Oh, okay. Come on.
Big smiles on 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Is there any comments?
Oh, okay. My name is Glenn Anderson. Um, I like what I heard, but I didn't know the citizens can go to proper appraiser, get information. And I have not received no letter from she said she issued out to what's going on. I have not received a letter for that.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Sweat. I am the founder of SwampBots Robotics, and I've been up here several times before, showing our appreciation and wanting to thank the commission and the city, the Parks and Rec Department, Damon and Jack and everybody over at Legacy. Once again, on December 19th and 20th, we held our youth regional robotics competition for Northeast Florida. We brought in almost 2,500 people to the city of Alachua for the event, 2-day event. We packed the hotels. We brought them downtown this year instead of doing everything at Legacy. We brought them downtown for dinner and an ice cream party at the vault. We hosted more than 500 kids at the vault. We had a snow park for the kids to play in. And it was just really a lot of fun. And I wanted to say thank you to the commission, to the city, for all the support that you guys continue to give to us and to these kids that are a part of this program. We couldn't do it without you guys and the businesses and the people downtown that welcomed us this year. It was really amazing, and we really appreciate that. We're up to 132 kids this year, so we've continued to grow each and every year, and looking forward to many more years of this partnership. So I just want to take a second to say thank you to everybody for what you guys do and for your support of SwampBots. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more comments from the citizen?
Is this public comment? Okay.
Yeah, public
Well,
comments.
thank you so much, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. Mitch Glazer, San Francisco, Tech City. 2 quick updates. One is super excited about starting 15,000 square feet for a biotech company called Next Gen Biologics. They're actually one of our first tenants at San Francisco Tech City. They took about 3,000 square feet. They've taken 2 additional spaces, one for office space and also another space for clean rooms. So this will aggregate some of their operations. We're just about to start for them, and they will actually move in about 4 or 5 months. So we're very excited about being able to accelerate that. As I'd also mentioned, we have a healthcare facility that got CO'd the first of the year. Really hats off to Sheer Construction for that facility, about 9,000 square feet. It's going to be a medical rehab center with the latest and greatest in technologies using that. I believe their opening is on January 20th. I would envision that there would be a ribbon cutting and a celebration wrapped around that. That's really up to them. But I do want to thank Sheer Construction because they were pulling in double time teams from 7 to 3 and 3 to 11 to be able to accommodate this particular tenant. And I think that's a real testament to them, but it's also a testament to your city, our city, in that we're able to deliver those kinds of turnarounds that is really important, that a lot of communities don't have that ability to quite frankly do. So we're really excited about that. Additionally, we're signed another 15,000 square feet with another biotech company. We're going to be starting building F in the coming weeks. That's a 30,000 square foot building. And so that's going to be coming out of the ground very shortly, and we'll follow Next Gen Biologics as we get going with that tenant as well, which we delivered in the very late fall of this year. Additionally, I just wanted to remind all of us that the largest gathering of celebrating business in our region and specifically our community is going to be January 28th. We have sold 746 tickets to this event. That will be the largest business gathering in the history of Alachua County, being held right here at Legacy Park. I am super excited about us being able to showcase what is being done in this community specifically through through the Alachua Chamber and all of its wonderful programming that it's been able to provide over the years. We're also celebrating our 50th year as a Chamber of Commerce as well. And the man who started it all, Jerry Smith, will be there. And so it's going to be wrapped around a lot of fun, a lot of celebration. Jeff Allen is going to be the entertainment. He's really, really a terrific guy. So, anyways, thank you all very much for all you do, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Is there any citizen public comments not on the agenda? If not, we'll move to item 3, committee report.
Mr. Mayor, there are none.
Okay. So we'll move to 4.
Mr. Mayor, there are
Don't have
none
none of
public
that?
hearings.
All right. So we go to item 5, agenda items. A, approval of November 20, 2025, December the 8th, 2025, City Commission minutes. I'm sorry. We'll move to by item 5, approval of the, oh no, yes, approval of the November 24th, 2025 and December the 8th, 2025 City Commissioner meeting minutes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this was an item that was under consent in the previous meeting, and this board pulled it from consent to put it on the agenda for discussion. This item allows this board to discuss those meeting minutes.
So I pulled that off of the consent last time because I thought it was just a mistake. It seemed like we've changed the approach on how we record our minutes to go from summarized minutes to action minutes. And I'm trying to figure out when the commission made that decision for us to switch how we record our minutes. Because my concern is if we're switching how we provide information to the public by reducing that information. I'm concerned about how we keep our public informed, right? Because you don't have to make a public records request to see the meeting minutes for these items. But at the same time, we're asking for live streaming. Unanimously, this commission has asked for live streaming options to be presented to us last June, yet we haven't had anything presented to us on updates on those. I do know there happened to be a request back in November that went, no one responded to that one. But the public is not being involved in these conversations, and we're reducing the information that we give to the public by changing these things. But I'm trying to understand, was the commission itself, were any of my fellow commissioners consulted on changing the formats of these meetings, on how they're being recorded? Were any of my fellow commissioners consulted with making this decision?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager or City Attorney, can one of you just bring us up to speed and explain how we got here?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. And so meeting notes is viewed as part of the discretion of the city manager and how it's presented. There's been, as far as I know, no direction from this board on the type of meeting minutes that's provided. During the P&Z meeting, we were informed that the county was going to have a court reporter present at that meeting. With that known, and to not have any ambiguous meeting notes, it was the decision to make action minutes. Action minutes determine what action was taken, and how it moves forward. Also, every single meeting that we have has the video log for it. And so if anybody had any questions about what took place, instead of reading somebody's interpretation of what occurred or preferences or adjectives or how that meeting is described, they can go to the actual video and view what was actually stated. And so at that time, we also consulted the city attorney just to let them know the direction we're heading. And if there was the attorney, if they had a preference on which way meeting minutes were taking, action minutes is the recommendation because it removes all objectivity of the person who's taking the meeting minutes. Hence, that's why we see this moving forward, and that's why this item is being presented to you at this time.
Mr. Mayor, that is authorized under Chapter 286 of the Florida statutes that you provide action minutes. And action minutes are the subject matter that's under discussion or consideration before this council, and who makes the motion, who seconds the motion, and what the vote is. So it's a very abbreviated way of doing your minutes. And as you will recollect, there is a provision in our agenda item that says that if you desire to have a verbatim transcript of the actions that evening, for example, if there's a planning and zoning matter that's before you for approval and you want to contest it and take it up on writ of certiorari, then your responsibility as the applicant of that zoning procedure or one of the contestants is to obtain a verbatim transcript so that you can have a writ of certiorari on appeal to the circuit court. So it's your obligation as a citizen or applicant to obtain that transcript. And that's in our agenda that says if you want a verbatim transcript, then you have to do that. So in our cities that we represent, action minutes are the typical format for recording the minutes. That was the discussion between our office and city manager.
So Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, my concern here is not on using it. It's that, one, the commission, this wasn't discussed with the commission beforehand. This was taking at staff's discretion to switch how we record our meetings. Second thing is, what we're doing here is we're taking from the public, but not giving them anything in return. We say that the meeting videos are accessible to people. However, we have to file for that. I believe we were given a document. I was given a document talking from the city manager discussing that we've had over 800 something. It was a high number of public records requests. And so my concern is why are we making more hoops for our residents to jump through to be informed here? And so if I would be amicable to the city switching to action minutes if we took our recordings and we make them freely available to residents so they don't have to file public records requests and go through that process and go through the waiting process to achieve. So just to view these meetings. But I'm very disheartened that we're looking at reducing the information we give to the public without giving them something in return. So that's why I'm very concerned with this approach, and then us not being consulted on, hey, this is the direction we want to move. Because we switched to action minutes because there was the threat of a court reporter attending a meeting. But has there been a court reporter in any of our meetings since, or the commission meetings? There hasn't been court reporters or a threat of court reporters in the commission meetings, but we're changing how we conduct our commission, or we record our commission meetings. So if the commission would be amicable to pursuing a route where we make our commission meetings accessible to the residents without having to go through a public records process, then I'll support going through with switching to action minutes with how
Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager, because it's relevant to this, where do we stand with the request from this commission to have the live streaming options presented to us? I think that in and of itself answers Commissioner Fletcher's question.
Staff will provide an update for the City Commission for live streaming for the next commission meeting. We'll be
Okay.
able to do that.
Okay. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I'm willing to wait for that update before I make a decision to change the agenda, how we do the agenda again.
All right. I'll share this. I serve on several boards, probably too many boards, but at least two of them I serve as the secretary, and I capture action minutes because, Commissioner Fletcher, if I captured everything that went on at that meeting, I would have extensive minutes. So, as the attorney said, I capture who made the motion, who seconded, and the action that was taken. So, I'm good.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to be clear. By switching to action minutes, we're changing how we historically have recorded our meeting minutes. I just want to be clear. We're switching. We're not adding anything.
And just for me to be clear, I guess for the action minutes, we're taking out like the person's interpretation. It is just the fact, correct?
So yes, there's just the action that took place, the direction that was given, who called the vote, how the vote landed. That's correct.
Okay.
They're just factual facts of what happened.
Mr. Mayor.
Which is transparent.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I would ask that if you see a line of 12 public comments on an item, how does the public know what those public commenters were discussing if by looking at the minutes? There's 12 of them, and you just see a line of names. How would we see that?
Mayor, I'm fine with the action minutes.
Has to be a motion to approve the minutes. So,
Is it?
Mr. Mayor, can I?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I motion to approve the November 24th, 2025 and December 8th, 2025 City Commission meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Been moving second.
Hello, Soria Lindberg. This is a mistake, and I'm going to tell everyone that will listen to me from now until April 15th. The difference, if you read the minutes between now and something from a few months ago or last year, is it would say, John Doe opposed this. Sarah Smith liked that. If you look at your minutes now, it says, here's who talked, John Doe, Sarah Smith. It's very helpful to look back and see what the basic discussion is. We're not asking for anything verbatim. We're not asking for anything exact. It's just Soria Lindberg went up and she said comments about you should have the regular details on minutes. And when you say you're waiting for live stream, that's great. We have a plan, but we were very practical to know that if something comes here, it could be months until you get a result. So starting in November, you are missing valuable information. When I brought this up at the planning meeting when they were going to approve the minutes, the planning director said, we're not doing this because videos are readily available. That's not true. And as Commissioner Fletcher said, If you could just put it on your website on the handout I handed you, that's going to be public record. I emailed you a month ago about this. On your website, there's a link for city commission videos, but it's dead. At some point, they went away. If you could put the videos there the next day, not even live stream, just an archive, and then the minutes say, at this minute, this was the agenda item, I will happily go and watch that video. But you don't have that connection. It's missing. So, and everyone is not very tech savvy to get the public record for the video. We've talked about how hard it is. And the Florida statute, that's the basic minimum. It doesn't say you have to do the most minimum legal thing. It at least say who you're for or against. Having timestamps on the meeting or a link to the video, nothing is readily available as it is now. If I want to see something, I'm looking at something Friday night because I'm a nerd and I love this kind of stuff, I have to wait until Monday or Tuesday to watch the video. And this is how I find things. And this is why the clerk gets random requests from me. What happened in June 2023? I get the video because I see who commented and I can see what they say. It's just, I'm just shocked we're reducing what the public can see and we're okay with it. You're taking away and it's not transparent when you don't see what's happening with a video. I lost all my notes. I'm just very shocked that we're taking this away and you're complicit with it, but you can still change your mind. You can say, hey, can we make a motion to see how we can put these videos up? And you can start in November. You don't have to go back many years or months. The month that the meeting minutes changed, start the archive then. That's 4 videos. Like anyone can upload things to YouTube. I do it. I upload commission meeting videos now to make it more readily available, but I only have the most recent one. So.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission staff. My name is Tamara Robbins. Well, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Brown wanted to use the example that she serves on numerous committees, that she is the secretary and she takes action minutes, and that's good with her. I have a question, Mr. Mayor, if Commissioner Brown could clarify. Is she serving as the chair of public advisory boards? Is that what she's serving as? Because if that's the case, that's also not good. What she does in her private time, she can keep minutes however she wants, but it does not apply to the public's business. Okay? This is public business. Okay? When I was a commissioner in 2001, the videos were taken to Gainesville. I've told you this before. Put on Channel 12, played repeatedly during the week. That was 25 years ago, and the city was making a concerted effort with the technology available to get the public the information, and you have done nothing but go backwards. The meetings were always archived. Then the meetings were archived on the website. Can someone explain, Mr. Mayor, why the meetings were taken off of the website? That deserves an answer. Okay, they were on there. They're not there. They're not even close to readily available. Readily available would be, yes, as Ms. Surya stated, they would be there like they used to be forever. And you took them off. Commissioners, y'all were here while this was happening. Because to sit here and act like this is anyway near transparent, we just watch what happened. You would not even allow the public to comment on the spending of our money. I mean, the gall of you guys to stonewall the public and your arrogance is just off the charts. And as Surya said, April 15th is rolling around. And if everybody doesn't know that, that's an election. And Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Dana Williams' seat is going to be up for election. So I encourage the voters to get somebody up here who cares about what the public thinks and what you want to know, because this is our business. So the minutes, Mr. Mayor, the attorney says, oh, this is Chapter 286. This is totally within line. It is not. Chapter 286 says you have to keep minutes of the meeting and they don't need to be a transcript. Well, we are a long way from a transcript to action minutes. It says minutes are to be a summary of the meetings. Okay? Action minutes are not a summary. Okay, so when you say in these minutes too, there's somebody absent, Mayor Welsh, you were absent one time, it says approved by unanimous consent. That's not okay. Unanimous consent, it needs to be 4-0 vote because there was an absent member. And the public should be able to go to the minutes of the meetings and get a summary of what happened in the public business. And I am asking, Mr. Mayor, if you will ask the city manager to find out and explain to us why the meeting videos are gone.
Well, we'll have a vote. I'll start with Commissioner Dana,
Aye.
Commissioner Fletcher,
Under Rule 22 regarding voting, any commissioner shall have the right to express dissent from or protest against any ordinance, resolution, or policy of the commission and to have the reason therefore entered in the minutes. So therefore, I'm going to ask that my reasoning be entered into the minutes. In favor of promoting transparency and informed residents, I will not be in support of this motion while residents do not have readily available access to their meeting recordings. So I will vote nay.
did you vote?
It's an A.
Commissioner Vincent,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Welch, aye.
Mr. Mayor, before we move on to the next agenda item, can I ask Mr. City Manager, when you come back to this commission regarding the live streaming, can you also include what the link that was referred to in citizen comments, the status of that? And just, yes, no, we can use it, not, whatever. Any information would be appreciated.
Mr. Mayor, noted.
I can tell you right now, if you go to the city commission meetings, there's a link that says
I'm
videos.
very aware. I know the link and I've been there. So that's why I'm asking the city manager
Everyone's
to
already aware
bring it.
that link's broken and that if residents click on the videos, they do not get the meeting recordings. We're all aware of that.
I'm aware of it.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for my fellow commissioners. I'm only speaking for myself. And that's why I'm asking the city manager when he comes back with information on live streaming to also include that in his information to this commission.
We'll move to 5B.
Mr. Mayor, I was asked to give a summary of a lawsuit that's been filed on behalf of the city of Alachua. We're one of 28 local governments that have joined in this lawsuit up in Leon County. And the lawsuit is filed against Alex Kelly, who is our Secretary of Commerce, Kevin Guthrie, our Florida Division of Emergency Management, Jim Zingle, the Department of Revenue for the state of Florida, and Blaise Ngoglia, who's our CFO, Chief Financial Officer. I've reviewed the lawsuit in detail, and it, in my opinion, is a very well-crafted lawsuit. Number one, it's drafted by a law firm, Weiss Sirota, who has a great deal of experience in local government law. The gist of the complaint is Senate Bill 180 is problematic in a number of ways. It uses terms that are not defined in the law, in the statute. And for example, Senate Bill 180 freezes all local land development regulations and comprehensive plans in place on August 1st, 2024, declaring that any more restrictive or burdensome amendments to the regulations that were enacted in the 67 counties or 411 municipalities are void ab initio if there's changes that are more restrictive or burdensome as a result of an emergency, namely hurricanes. And the general law is not reasonably related to the subject of the law and contains improper, unfunded mandates on the local government and intrudes on local home rule as mandated by the Florida Constitution and also the Florida Statutes, Chapter 166. For example, impact fees cannot be assessed on reconstruction or replacement of a previously existing structure if the replacement is on the same land and the original structure does not increase or impact the public facilities. The lawsuit defines that there may be greater impacts on the public infrastructure that warrant an impact fee, and therefore it is improper to limit the local government from assessing an impact fee in such an instance. The law also states that increasing the homestead property tax exemption from changes, improvements, or additions due to misfortune or calamity. That isn't necessarily a hurricane. It may not be a storm event. There's many infirmities that happen. There's many calamities that happen. So again, that's a definition that is really not defined by virtue of the Senate Bill 180. You can't place a moratorium on new construction or reconstruction or redevelopment of property after a hurricane. And so that is another area that is problematic. The law requires counties and municipalities to maintain an approved debris management site. So again, what is an approved debris management site, and what are the costs associated with that? And secondarily, that's an unfunded state mandate upon local government. The law states that it's effective as to counties and cities that are in a federal disaster declaration as a result of certain past hurricanes. But every single county in the state of Florida, and thus every municipality, is listed in at least one of the three federal disaster declarations. So it's a statewide, it runs under the guise that it's only to have effect on certain cities or certain counties as declared in the disaster declarations, but it essentially, and it does affect every county, every city, state. Article 3, Section 6 of the Florida State Constitution says every law shall embrace but one subject matter properly connected therewith. House Bill or Senate Bill 180 relates to many, many areas of the state regulation, and therefore the contention is by the lawsuit that it is void for that purpose. Every law shall embrace but one subject matter, and the subject shall be briefly expressed in the title. The title goes on and on and on. If you look at Senate Bill 180 for pages and pages, and it is not briefly expressed in the title. The contention is therefore that it is also void for that purpose. This is basically an action for declaratory relief. There is a contention that there's the unfunded mandate provision of the Florida Constitution. There's the contention that it is violative of Article 8, Section 2B of the Florida Constitution, which is the home rule powers section of the Constitution. There is the language of it being more restrictive or burdensome standard will wreak havoc with many of the modern local planning tools that local governments now employ, because local governments have no way of determining whether a planning or zoning regulation is more burdensome or more restrictive. It simply does not purport to define that term or explain more burdensome or restrictive than what, and B, more burdensome or restrictive to whom. So the law has multiple deficiencies. Plaintiffs' lawyers brought a action for preliminary injunction in the Leon County Court on December 19th, I believe was the hearing date. That was denied. Getting a preliminary injunction is a difficult bit of legal business. You have to show that it meets the public policy of the state of Florida, that you have a substantial likelihood of success on the merits of the lawsuit. If it's a public entity such as our situation, we don't have to post a bond if the court allows for it. But it's an extraordinary remedy, and it's not necessarily indicative of the fact that you will win or lose at the final hearing. The Leon Circuit Court, did not grant the plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction, but the case is moving on, and we have the support of the League of Cities and all of this. I think even those cities that are not named in the lawsuit, there's two counties, Orange County and one other county, Manatee County, are also. So it's a conglomeration of cities and counties. But I think virtually every city in the state of Florida is supportive of this lawsuit. And of course, all of the city attorneys are watching this case very closely. I think the plaintiff's lawyers are doing a very good job in what they've presented to the court and how they've crafted the complaint. So that certainly is all reasonable work, and I think very highly expert work as well on behalf of those lawyers. The lawyers have asked that we have our Director of Planning, Brian Thomas, execute a declaration in support of the motion that they filed for future reference, even though the December 19th motion for preliminary injunctive relief was not granted. And so I'm requesting at this point that we have Brian Thomas, our Director of Planning, execute such a declaration that is in support of the motion, and we will craft the necessary declaration. But if you would authorize him to do that so that we can move forward with the lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, question on why, run me through it, why are we asking for Brian to go through the execution versus the mayor?
They would like somebody with the planning expertise to execute normally you're exactly right, Commissioner. It would be the mayor that would execute it, but they're asking for planning staff to do this. And I think what they want Brian to do is to look at the costs that would be associated with all of the training. One of the things that the law does, it requires extensive biannual training to be conducted within the city and the city staff. And so they would like an estimation from Brian as to what that cost would be, along with the view of the more restrictive language. What does that mean to you as a planner? And it's not defined adequately in law. So that's why they're asking for planning staff to do that. Now, they may come back to you, Mr. Mayor, and also ask for either your testimony. The judge did not allow testimony via Zoom, which I think surprised the attorneys a little bit, but some of the judges just don't like Zoom and they like live testimony and that sort of thing. But it may be somewhere down the road where our planning staff or perhaps our mayor will testify in this case, or one of the other 28 cities or local governments that are involved.
Mr. Mayor, another question for the city manager or my fellow commissioners. I believe we were trying to get feedback from our state rep. Has anybody gotten an update? Because I remember we were talking about, we heard that this was not their intention, like people were misinterpreting it. I just want to make sure, like, have they gotten back to us, or are we still in the dark on this?
In reference to Senate Bill 180, we did not hear back from our representative or senator.
Mr. Mayor, but we did confirm that it was voted let me try this again. Everyone in Tallahassee what am I trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say. It was unanimous. Like, this is not what they wanted to happen. Was us to go against Senate Bill 180 is what I'm trying to say. So there was no one that represents us that opposed this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Like
That's right.
I'm just trying to understand, like, if we have so many municipalities going against this, and the Senate is voting unanimously on this, I was just trying to understand, like, did they ever get back to us to tell us how we're misinterpreting this? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, do we ever get an answer on like how we were reading this wrong from them? But I guess not.
And Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Attorney, you said there was 28 cities and 2 counties?
There are 26 cities and 2
And 2
counties.
counties.
A total of 28 plaintiffs.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what was that? Oh, I guess I want to just confirm something with the city attorney. In here it says or other qualified individual. For the motion, we should probably just be specific.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. And then, do I need to add anything along the lines of? I'm sorry.
Thomas.
Okay, so planning director Brian.
Yes.
Would that be sufficient?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. I motion to authorize and direct the city manager to assign our planning director to execute the attached declaration in support of local government's expedited motion for preliminary injunction recommended by Weiss, Sirota, Hellman and Cole, and Bierman Law Firm, retained to represent the city in the multi-city lawsuit related to SB 180.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor. Okay.
We have comments from the citizens, not on the agenda, please.
For the motion.
Yeah, to this motion.
Yeah.
I meant to say.
Hello, Story Lindbergh. This is really cool. It's really exciting that we voted to go against this. I just wanted to give a little update of other organization I follow. There is a new Senate bill at the state level. If anyone wanted to write it down or look it up, it's Senate Bill 840. And this is to revisit Senate Bill 180. And I'm not going to read it to you because you can look it up. But the part that's kind of exciting, it says, it can adjust enforcing changes to specified procedures and revising circumstances under which impacted local governments can enforce certain amendments, site plans, development permits, development orders, and deleting provisions relating to filing suit against local government. And that was kind of a scary part of Senate Bill 180. It let anyone sue the city and the city would have to pay for it. So follow Senate Bill 840. And this is because of this kind of lawsuit and everyone in the state getting together. And whether it's for good or not, it's because there's like hundreds of activists on the ground enforcing people and letting people know that this is happening. So there is some movement. Of course, it's a long road for the Senate bills and House bills. There's lots going on, but there is a little bit of hope. And I think this lawsuit helps that too. So thank you for signing on that.
Is there anyone else? If not, yeah, take a vote. I'll start with Commissioner Dana,
Aye.
Commissioner Fletcher,
Aye.
Commissioner Ringerson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shirley Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Welch. Aye. So, um, Right there with you. Now we'll move to item 6. Comments from the citizen on subject not on the.
Mr. Mayor, Tamara Robbins. I'd like to know the status on the purchase of Pinkenson Springs. I would like to know what Snake Pond Basin is. It's in your, it was in the budget changes presented last year. Haven't never heard of Snake Pond Basin. The signs that the commission spent $40,474 on of public money for the signs that were unveiled here in this meeting a few months ago. The signs for the stormwater park, there isn't a park. Well, it's not a park. It's a stormwater system over behind Sunny's. It's not a park. I don't see where it could ever be a park. There's no parking. There's no trail around it. There's no designated areas. There's no safety features. I don't even know if it's zoned properly to become a public access. So now we have almost $41,000 of signage that is in the warehouse. It's not a very good place for it. Customer deposit account was in the presentation that you didn't let the public speak on. $2.3 million is in that customer deposit account. I got the bank statement for that account for the last 3 months, stagnant. It's weird. It's like no income, no outgoing. I guess you have no customers paying deposits for 3 months. You're not paying any back for 3 months. It's just weird. It's like stagnant balance. Also, any customer deposit money that is not returned to the customer after 1 year is supposed to be returned to the state as unclaimed property. And I really would like to know about that. It's hard to figure out how to get public records here because it costs so much, and gee whiz, you just don't know what to expect. So anyways, I'm just curious, has the city been sending any unclaimed customer deposit money back to the state so the public can go to the state site and see if they have any money owed to them? And what is up with that? Theater Park. There was a recent article in the local paper that said that the Theater Park project was $150,000. I just don't know how they got that so wrong. You guys approved, let's see, what was it? $572,000 for Theater Park. So, gosh, somebody was giving them wrong information that it was $150,000. So, public needs to know that park was actually ended up being over $600,000. So, I'm wondering if you have any plans for overflow in this room capacity. The capacity for this room is only 156 people. And there's a big meeting tomorrow night, if y'all remember. And what is the provision? Since you don't stream, nobody can go outside and watch the meeting, and you don't have anything going into the neighboring areas where you have 2 big TV screens flashing, So what's the plan for the overflow? Thank you.
Hello, Sori Lindberg. Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank Commissioner Williams for requesting the city manager to get information about that link about commission videos. I appreciate you being the person to point that out and to get there because there's 2 places to get there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Evening, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you and the commission to our new building official, Robert Bidgood, in the back there. He comes to us by way of Brevard County, and we are very excited to have him on board and see great things for the building department going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
I just want to say that. Welcome aboard. Well, if there be no more, we will have.
Question. Who's the beautiful woman next to you? Welcome to the both of you.
Now we'll have comments from the city manager and the city attorney.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Allow me to take this opportunity to say Happy New Year to everybody. And I want to begin this year by thanking this city commission, our amazing staff, and our residents as we work collaboratively to enhance the city and move forward. As we look to the year ahead, we're excited for all the opportunities and strategies to strengthen our city. And here are some key areas to look forward to for this year. We will be expanding our cultural arts programs and opportunity. We'll continue the collaborations on strategy to further improve our CRA district. We'll continue to work together to enhance the pedestrian connectivity throughout our city, and we are advancing the continued progress of the Hathcock Center, and also looking forward to Monday coming up, the MLK event that the city will be participating and hosting. So thank you again for your ongoing support and your engagement as we move the city forward. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Comments from the city attorney?
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
There be no comments, then comments from the commissioners.
I'd also like to wish everyone, I hope they had a great, they had a holidays over the holidays. I wish everyone enjoyed their time and they were able to spend their time with their family and their friends. I did. I got to see family that I only get to see once a year. So I also got to see snow, which I only get to see once a year. I think that's as much snow as I need to see once a year. I had a great time there, and glad to be back and glad to get back to work. I do want to point out on January 19th, again, over at Legacy Park, 10 a.m., our city's MLK celebration. I will be there. I know my fellow commissioners, if the schedule allows, they will be there. And I want everyone to know about it. You know, come out, right? That's the whole point, is us as a city, us as a people coming together for these things. So I hope you guys will join me and my fellow commissioners at that event on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any comments, just the same sentiment. I hope everyone enjoyed their Christmas and New Year's, and I hope that you got to spend a lot of time, good quality time with family and friends. Commissioner Fletcher, I grew up in snow, and so I understand your sentiment about only wanting to see it once a year. Yes, there's a reason why I came to Florida. So.
All right. So, again, Happy New Year. Proud to be part of the city of Alachua. After our last commission meeting on the 8th of December, I got really sick. I had a lot of time to reflect. I do feel that some of our meetings, to me, are still struggling interpersonally with my personality, my lifestyle. And I really want us to move forward. I am very proud. I love this city. I have dedicated my life servicing in so many different areas. With that time for those weeks, the city manager did check in with me because I did let him know I started getting very ill. I pushed through like I always do, work normally 14-hour days, would go home and go to sleep. I did volunteer to try to help with a basketball team, which I was struggling to even get to that. I did get diagnosed with pneumonia. I am still ill today, but on an upswing. With that said, I believe that I feel like we need to move forward. The comment with April 14th or April 15th, I feel like we, as a commission, I'd like to ask if we, for a moment, I would like to make a motion on something. I'd like to waive the rules and rights and ask the city attorney a question. Is that okay, Mayor? If we?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make a motion to move the rights. I would like to waive the rules and rights. Yes, I said that. He said yes.
Why are we waiving the rights to ask the city attorney a question?
Well, I would like to make a motion because it's just in this.
Well, what's the motion?
You'd like me to make the motion?
Well, you could say it before we jump through going through a motion and another motion. Because now we're going to have to get the public comment on the right to waive the motion, and then we're going to have to do another comment on the motion itself.
Correct.
I second your motion.
Okay. So
now we have to vote.
Okay. So do I make the motion first? Oh, that motion. Okay.
And it's been moved to second. Is there any public?
There was even discussion on the floor between the commissioners before going to public comment.
Yeah, that's what I'm moving.
So, it has to go to the commissioners before it goes to the floor. That's how motions get discussed. So I'm really hesitant about this because the last time we did this at the 11th hour of a meeting, we fired our city's attorney, gave them 30 days, and and it was all under the guise of saying we're going to hire an in-house attorney. We haven't done that. We haven't gotten our own in-house attorney. All we've gotten was an attorney, just like any other attorney, you do your job well, right? Just like Marion did. But it was never, we had an in-house attorney, right? Because the whole sentiment was, we're moving forward, we're moving in a great direction, we're growing, and we need to save money, and we need an attorney who's always here in the city, okay, in City Hall, yet we've never gotten there. So what I'm saying is that's what we said, but we never followed through on it. So my question is, are we going to go through the motion to do something that puts us in a position of where we're scrambling to find an attorney, or we're trying to scramble to achieve something here, and then we don't even follow through on it? So that's what I'm trying to understand here. And that's why I'd like some clarification on why are we waiving the rules to make a motion? Sorry about that. If Commissioner Williams is going to have a sidebar discussion with Commissioner Ringerson regarding what they may or may not do, please speak in the microphone.
She can do whatever she'd like to do. She's completely independent.
No, I'm talking about conversations between commissioners on the dais that is not through the microphone. We'll pull up the recording on this if that's what you want to do. All I'm saying, here.
I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to have order in here, and let us conduct ourselves, with good manners, and we don't want.
So, Mr. Mayor, let me inform you. When we're on the dais and we're acting in our capacity as commissioners, the reason why is so our discussions are for the public. When commissioners on the dais or members on the dais speak to one another, okay, that is against what we're supposed to do here in a public meeting, okay? Because it's not just on whether or not we hear what we're saying, it's whether or not anybody here can hear it. So that's what I'm trying to get a point across here is we can't do that. That's against the state law. And if the city attorney, maybe I'm wrong here, are commissioners supposed to be discussing things during a meeting to each other, or are they supposed to be having it here in front for the public? Like, how do we address that?
If there's a discussion, Mr. Mayor, then that needs to be on the record and in public. So that's the rule of the Sunshine Law. That's clearly what it is. I don't think that applies to Commissioner.
Are we allowed to?
Wait, I'm not done. It does not apply to a reaction necessarily. If you have a reaction or another commissioner has a reaction, I think that's in the nature necessarily of a discussion.
Okay, so
Mr. Mayor, two things. One, so Commissioner Fletcher, are you educating the mayor on Sunshine Law? Is that what you're doing here? Number two, if you want to know what I said, what I was saying to myself is that she does not have to answer your question. That's what I said to myself. There was no back and forth. So there, it's on the public record for you. That's
Well,
all I said.
well, you said
That's
you
it.
don't have to respond to him. There you go.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Right. You said you don't have to respond. That refers to another individual.
And she did not respond. I was saying it to myself. So again, are you educating the mayor on sunshine law? Is that what you're doing?
I'm informing the public of what I heard and what Sunshine states. So
The
if you would
public
like
is
to-
very informed on sunshine law. I don't know that they need you to educate the mayor or themselves
Well,
on
your
sunshine
conduct
law.
shows different.
No, my conduct does not show different. But you're allowed to have your opinion. It's a free country.
There's a motion on the floor. Is that right?
Yes. It was a motion on the floor. It was moved to second, I believe. And now before we vote, we have comments from the citizens, the public.
Mr. Mayor, I walked in a little bit late. I don't know could you repeat the motion, please? Clerk, somebody? Motion maker? What's the motion?
The motion is to waive the rules of procedure to
And
allow
for
the
what
commission-
purpose?
I would like to discuss something.
Just random surprise ambush of subject matter, right?
No, it was your comment that made me do that. In
Well-
all honesty, and my reflection over the last 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see, because it's always like a mystery with what's going on. But, Mr. Mayor, to Commissioner Fletcher's point, inaudible discussions on the dais are in violation of the Sunshine Law. So while Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Williams would like to say, oh, she's just talking out loud to herself, saying, you don't have to answer that. Well, is she talking to herself, saying she herself does not have to answer that? Or was that just a way of talking out loud to the commissioner next to her saying, oh, you don't have to answer that? That's exactly what is going on. I mean, we sit here and Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Williams likes to think, oh, the public, we're so enlightened. And Commissioner Fletcher doesn't have is he trying to educate? Stop the shaming of everybody. Like shame, shame, shame. You could just think you can shame the public. Because I'm tired of you up there shaming the public here. And I'm tired, Mr. Mayor, of the other commissioners shaming each other. That's not in the civility thing. That civility thing back there says that's not supposed to be going on. An inaudible discussion on the dais between commissioners is a violation of the Sunshine Law.
I would like to say that goes both ways. You don't shame this panel, and don't disrespect this panel. I mean, you ask for respect, but then you ought to give respect. But any more comments before we vote?
Good evening. Happy New Year. Brian Bisher. I think the thing is that historically, when the rules have been waived, significant things happen, like managers resign, managers get hired. Those types of things happen. Attorneys get fired. And so it's things that typically could be handled by putting it on the agenda and having people have advance notice. So I think that's probably where there's some breakdown in terms of trust, or breakdown in terms of thinking, hey, this is something that is going to be, I guess, well thought out. So that's the concern there. Thank you.
Hi, sorry, Lindbergh. I just want to say I'm nervous, and I can tell this is probably really hard. Since I can't talk to you from the chair, I just want to say I'm sorry for what it seems like you feel right now. But yeah, I missed the meeting when the commission let the attorney go, and it only took about 4 minutes and 45 seconds. It was a whiplash moment to watch. So okay.
Thank you. We will take a vote. We'll start with Commissioner Dana,
Aye.
Commissioner Fletcher,
Referencing back into our rules and procedures, commissioners are allowed to have their reasoning for dissent entered into the record. And so my reasoning for entering for dissent is I will not continue to support any last minute motions that keep the public excluded or uninformed of these discussions or decisions. So no, I will not be supporting this motion.
so you vote no? Commissioner Ringerson,
Aye.
Vice Mayor,
Aye.
Mayor Welch, aye. That now we will move to.
I'd like to make the motion, but first I want to say I have not publicly or shamed or put down any of my fellow commissioners at any point. Again, this has been something that I have been feeling that I feel I would like to make a motion on to know again how we're feeling. One of the things that I have reflected on and being home so much and reading so much and looking forward, I want to motion that we would move forward instead of interim city manager to inform the city attorney to draw up a contract for our Mr. Rodolfo. I would like to make that motion. I want to know where we're feeling. I feel like this is something we have to move forward on. Rodolfo, in my opinion, met with several other people in the city today on the culture and the integrity and the feeling in this building. To me, has been a dramatic change, and it feels great in this city. I want to make a motion for Mr. Walker to move forward to draw up a contract, a 3-year contract, and bring back to our commission.
I'll second that.
So one of the things is, why didn't we just put this on the agenda? Why didn't we just add this item to the agenda? It would have been so simple. Why didn't we just do that?
Well,
why are we
again,
waiting
I
for a last minute?
stated, Jacob, I've been sick, okay, and I've reflected on it, and the comment from Miss Robbins just was the last one for me to move forward. I'm not going to sit here and listen to somebody say April 15th or dates like that. I feel like she's telling us it's the time, and I feel it's the time. So that's my answer.
So we're putting, we're going through with a last minute motion to install the interim city manager as city manager because a resident of the city referenced elections are coming up, and so we need to install a city manager now.
You can
Right.
interpret it that way. You can interpret it that way, for sure.
Okay.
He's the right man for the job. I feel it. I know the city feels it. I know the people that work in this city, in this building, feel it. It has been a dramatic change. I feel it every time I come in from the young lady Helen at the front desk all the time. I don't really feel it's to me it's the right time.
All right. Well, the right time for me would have been during our regular meeting when it was on the agenda. I do agree there has been huge improvements from what I've seen in just the first couple of weeks, and the progress Mr. Valadares has made in this city. Like there's been a lot of improvements I'm seeing, but I think how we approach these things and how we exclude the public from these discussions is something we shouldn't be doing. Like this could have easily just been an agenda item and we gone forward with this. You know, this is ignoring the fact that some of you all have expressed or actually said that you would be in support of a national search. That's ignoring that part. But here it's like we could have just put this on the agenda. If everyone is in support of this, why don't we just put it on the agenda and inform the public that way? Why are we doing these things at the 11th hour? It's just a bad. It doesn't make sense to me why we would want to do it this way. It feels sneaky, and to reference that a public comment regarding upcoming elections as one of the catalysts for this, it just doesn't feel right.
Let me just say it's not the catalyst. It's just this is what I have been thinking about and what I felt for me tonight was the time. Yes, I'll take note for future to put things on the agenda. If that's so be it, and that's the way that I choose to do it, that's fine. And you have the right to vote any way you want.
So it's been moved to second. So we have a vote. Did I public comments before we make a vote?
My name is Julie Smith, and I believe that Rodolfo is the best for the job. Every time I walk in here, he asks me how I'm doing. He really truly cares. I have seen a change in the people. I've seen a change in the city. He had to break it down to rebuild it back, and it took time. You know, all of you guys, even Fletcher has put stuff at the last minute. I think it was social media. I'm not 100% sure. At the last minute, everybody's guilty of it. And I understand, Jennifer, how you feel. I understand sometimes your emotions just make you say, damn it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now, you know, because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So let's just get it over with. And I do believe he's the best person for the job. I do believe that you guys should hire an assistant city manager. And I do believe you should train that assistant city manager that if anything should happen with him or his children, they could step in his place in a one hot minute. But you are not going to find anybody in the world that has the wisdom this man has for this city. Not necessarily just the knowledge, education, but the wisdom. You can't replace that in this world. But yes, you still need to hire an assistant manager. You still need to have a backup. This man has a wife and kids. You never know. You should always have a backup, and there should be a good assistant city manager. But I think keeping it limbo where we don't have a legit city manager keeps everything in limbo moving forward. And I think it's the right thing to do. Even though this man has been ridiculed, he's been screamed at, he's sat there and been professional. And that matters. He doesn't base decisions on his emotions. He bases it on his intelligence. Not everybody's going to agree with it. It takes time. Educational institutions slower. You know, states slower. It does take time. It's not the private sector. You can't snap your fingers and make it happen. But this drama has to stop, man, because let me tell you something. Everything was going great until the drama started, until the back and forth and the guilty until proven innocent. I mean, this woman's been sick. My husband had double pneumonia. I'm sorry, honey. And there is a right. You guys are commissioners. You're voted in. If you want to put something on the agenda and they agree on it, it's 4-1. There's no reason why you can't do that because you've done that too at the end of the meeting. And we end up putting the social media and we end up putting the stuff on the next agenda. Everybody's done it before. Everybody's done it. And you guys ridicule each other does not show unity. It shows separation. You guys are our 5 commissioners. You guys do a lot of stuff within the city. And you guys have to have unity. Even if you don't agree with each other, you still have to respect each other. You still have to do that. I mean, it's just business at the end of the day. You can shake your hands afterwards. But we have to represent the whole town. And that just has to stop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Brian Bisher. Sorry you're feeling poorly. I feel precognitive since my statement before was, hey, things happen when you guys waive the rules, like you hire city managers and different things happen that seem to be put into motion beforehand or without any real opportunity for public input. So I think Ms. Smith's referenced Commissioner Fletcher putting things on the agenda. I believe he's asked for things to be put on the agenda for the next meeting, which is a bit different than saying, hey, prepare a contract for 3 years. So significant decisions that you're making at the 11th hour. And I'm sorry it's based on emotion and how you feel as opposed to maybe what's best for the city.
Good evening, Bill Smith. I just want to throw out my support for Mr. Valderas. He's been wonderful to work with every time I've come to him and met him. Absolute gentleman, absolutely been amazing for the city. You see the things that he's doing. I 100% support him being the full-time city manager. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Postel, I fully support this decision. Number one, because when I had difficulties getting things done with the previous city manager, I can recall reaching out to the assistant city manager. Things were done effectively, efficiently, and they were done on time. I know this may not be conventional, but I remember as a little kid watching my grandfather, Reverend Joe Criswell, be the first mayor of this town that was a minority mayor and commissioner to sit in these chambers when they were over at the old city hall. But never in my years have I seen it being so chaotic and such in disarray. The city's come a long way. And though I may not be a citizen of the city, I am still in Alachua. And I like to see the growth. I like to see unity. And you guys are doing a good job, but you can't do it with separatism. You got to do it as one. And that includes even with people out there that in the audience. Everybody's vote is not gonna matter. Somebody's opinion is not gonna matter. But as long as you do what's better for the people of this city, is what matters. That's what's important. Whatever decisions you make back there for the people of this city is what matters. I got a public administration degree. Everybody don't have that. And some of us need to be able to understand that these people need to understand what it is to read a budget. We don't educate enough in this city. We give information without education. And that's what causes a lot of frustration. I yield.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Hubbard, and got the right man in the seat over there. I don't think anybody does not agree with that. Anybody I've spoken to around the community, and to hear y'all talk up here. But I will say, I think procedurally, put it on the agenda so the community knows what's going on. That's my inner self speaking. Okay, my emotions speaking. We all have them, we all use them. But I really think to do it right for the people, the few people that show up here deserve your best. And I think best it would be an agenda item and make that man city manager.
Is there another?
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question of the city attorney? Would that be okay?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, just for clarification, Commissioner Ringerson's motion is asking for you to bring back back a contract for the city manager. So that would go on an agenda, correct?
That is correct, Mr.
And
Mayor.
that would give this board an opportunity to speak about the contract. It would also give the public an opportunity to speak about Mr. Valadares being permanent city manager and his contract, correct?
Correct. This is direction to our office to prepare the contract and then bring it back to next city commission.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you take a vote. I'm gonna start with Commissioner Fletcher.
All right. Again, referring back to our rules and procedures regarding votes in dissent, I want to state that my vote is not a reflection on Mr. Valadares' professionalism or his performance. I want that to be clear. But there's a quote, and it's, "Culture is defined by the worst behaviors our leaders tolerate." And these last minute motions, without including the public or forewarning to the public, of the direction we as a commission are heading is not in the best interest of the public. And I will not continue to support last minute motions that exclude the public from these things. And so with that, I will be voting no.
Commissioner Dana,
Aye.
Commissioner Ringus,
Aye.
Vice Mayor,
Aye.
Mayor Welch, vote aye. It's 4-1. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I'll go ahead and finish my comments. I just wanted to also add MLK Day is one of my favorites every year. Again, I think Mr. Fletcher said 10 a.m. at Legacy Park. I also wanted to thank Mr. Eady for his prayer today. He's always very inspirational. And then I would like to add for Jason Sweat for the robotics program and Legacy Park and all of that. But those things don't happen unless the person is invested. And Jason, I know him, his wife, for many, many years. His little boy is now 17, he said today, which time flies. But if he doesn't do that, the program doesn't happen for these children. And so I want to personally, again, thank him and continue to support in any way outside of the commission and in the community to anything that he needs. I would be open arms to any location. I know he continues to grow and space becomes a situation for the kids. But again, I want to personally say thank you to him and his wife. Chief, continue to keep us safe. Employees and everybody else, thank you for all you do. Thank you for an amazing year, and I am looking forward to 2026. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
That's it.
I'll motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry, Mayor. Oh my.
That's all right.
Sorry, Mayor. I'm so sorry. I thought Miss Shirley said we're done. my fault, Mayor. Go ahead.
That's all right. I just want to wish everyone to enjoy this new year, and I'm praying very hard that we can conduct meetings with respect. Um, my campaign run, and that's what I asked. I wanted unity and respect, and if we can try to work towards that, let us not use our comments to jig at one another. That's not helping transparency, like you always say. So let us kind of be more. I know you always want me to. You're always saying be more professional. So let us conduct ourselves in a good manner because believe it or not, the city is doing great. It's moving forward. And I love what our city manager is doing, and he's working real hard. I love this board. And, we don't have to be in agreement, but you know we are needed, and when we come together like this, we can make things happen. But I wish all of y'all to have a wonderful, enjoy this wonderful New Year's. And I'm glad my friend here, I got this here, um, Church in the Hood. Yeah, Church in the Hood. And sometimes you can come out, there's a lot of things going on with that, education wise. And we have workshops, and it's do a lot of things, and I'm glad that this Virgil Paus is here. He's conducting this, so I thank God for that. But if that's be it,
Mr. Mayor, that was one of my students.
yeah. Well,
What, like 15 years ago, right? I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
the second is this meeting is adjourned, and thank you all.